Great pressure by Fitzgerald there. Brody hasn't even made a move.
Oh, nice takedown.
Good change of direction.
Tight attempt, that first guillotine.
Oh!
Was that? That looked good.
That looked clean.
That
He was
looked
on the
clean.
That looked good. Wow. It definitely rocked Brody there.
Yeah, but he's always had a chin, and we know it, but that looked like he timed it perfect on the get-up. We'll have to go over it with a fine-tooth comb on the replay.
Fitzgerald isolating Brody's left arm there. Switches over to mount. Buttery transition.
But a great fight nonetheless. Big hammer fist there from Lorenzo. That guillotine was tight, good bite right there, lost it in transition, great awareness from Lorenzo. And we got to tally up the scorecards for this madhouse over fight.
Yeah, that was an incredible fight both times. That was that big knee right there. He timed that perfectly as Brody was getting up. Both knees ended up being off the ground. Great execution there.
All right, guys, we're gonna do one last drill. This is actually gonna be more cage fighting, wall fighting. So guys, real quick on the, so think of it this way. Let's say Mike wants to get me down. He could use the cage as a weapon. So let's say he's striking, right? And I'm backing up. This is one way to get your opponent to the fence or to the cage. So the first thing to actually use the cage is get your opponent to the cage, right? And one way again is he can use striking, which he just did, because I'm trying to avoid the strike, so I just keep backing up. The second option is he can use wrestling. So let's say he shoots in and he's pushing me, right? And I'm trying to sprawl, boom, he runs me against the cage. So he can use wrestling, he can use takedowns to get me to the cage. So those are two options that you can use. Now, once we're on the cage, then you have to, you know, obviously me as the defending opponent, I'm gonna try to fight off the cage. So a couple options that he can use is strikes to keep me on the cage. So he's throwing strikes, so that's gonna get me defending, right? Worrying about defending the strikes, right? And then there's also, again, takedowns. He goes back to trying to take me down, going for the legs. Now I gotta work on defending this. So the whole point is he's using striking and wrestling to keep me on the fence. And let's say he goes for a wrestling or takedown shot. Once I start defending this, let's say I'm successful, I'm breaking his posture, he can go back to striking, right? To keep me on the fence. Now, let's say all of a sudden I break off. A second way to keep your opponent on the fence, actually let's switch. So, striking. So, we know jab crosses, these are just straight attacks. But if he starts circling out, which is what he should do, I can use looping punches, right? To keep him on the cage, on the fence. So if he goes this way, I can use hooks, right? Hooks to keep him on the fence. So these punches, guys, they stop lateral movement, right? If I just throw jab crosses, he can just slip past and get out the way. So on the fence, these looping punches are excellent ways to keep your opponent on the fence, right? So looping punches, my takedowns, and then I can also clinch while I'm on the fence too. Good head position, throw knees, strikes. The cage is a weapon that we can use to win the fight, right? He can't sprawl against the cage. I can easily take him down, right? So I want us getting used to fighting and using this weapon that we have, because I know we do a lot of stuff in the open, but when you're in the cage, this is a huge game changer. So
They just are equaling.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Big knee.
Fitzgerald might be a little hurt here, but he seems to be recovering nicely. McDougal with a nice couple barrages after that big knee landed.
McDougal just sent a Superman punch from the clouds. Oh, big left drops McDougal on his head.
Wow,
And he's about to pass and get himself in a really good position if McDougal doesn't
great work.
change his angle right now, and he doesn't. Side control now for Lorenzo Fitzgerald with almost 2 minutes to work. He's got a lot of time to work. Now McDougal.
He wobbled Fitzgerald with that shot right there.
Yeah.
Oh, big head kick.
Cat literally catches it.
Caught the head kick with his face and arms and took him down. What a fight this has been.
Somewhere in the second round, McDougal found success.
But a great fight nonetheless. Big hammer fist there from Lorenzo. That guillotine was tight, good bite right there. Lost it in transition. Great awareness from Lorenzo. And we got to tally up the scorecards for this madhouse of a fight.
Yeah, that was an incredible fight both times. That was that big knee right there. He timed that perfectly as Brody was getting up. Both knees ended up being off the ground. Great execution there.